My name is Matt Murray. I am a co-producer, co-writer for the movie High Ground, standing at the cannery in Port Townsend, Washington at the Port Townsend Film Festival. We got an invite. It was great. We've done a number of other film festivals, but it was something where we had this on the schedule. Nobody was originally planning to come, and it turned out I had the time available and the ability to get here, and I'm thrilled that I did, because I haven't experienced this type of a festival yet of all the ones that we've done. So it's been a fantastic experience so far. We had a good screening on Friday night. Even though it was late, we had a really good crowd. Lots of good questions afterwards. Everybody that I've talked to that's seen it, whether beforehand or at the screening on Friday, has been thrilled with it. High Ground, the story of 11 wounded veterans from Iraq and Afghanistan and the physical and emotional struggles that they face coming home from war. And we tell it through an expedition to Nepal and climbing a 20,000-foot peak right next to Mount Everest. So you get the duality of the physical challenges of climbing a peak and how that can actually kind of be compared to what they go through in war, with the excitement, the adventure, the adrenaline, the danger, the camaraderie of an expedition as opposed to the camaraderie of a unit they're working with and going through combat. I fought in the first Gulf War back in '91. Have had a lot of friends over in Afghanistan and Iraq. Very good friend of mine who was killed over there. I think it's the type of story that needs to be told. It's about education for most Americans who have no really connection or clue about what the military is like or what they're going through, and the struggles that they face when they do come home. To show veterans that, you know what, they can do other things that they might be physically challenged by, and that can maybe help them move on with their lives. And the other aspect of it really is the education, the awareness to the general public about what it's like for these veterans coming home, because it's not just all parades and happy and everything's great and moving on with their lives. There's a lot of challenges. And it's 18 veterans overall. It's not just 18 veterans from Iraq and Afghanistan. You've still got Vietnam and even Korean veterans that are struggling. If this film can even save one to help them recognize or realize that there's help out there, that there are things that they can do, or if it raises awareness enough for somebody to meet a vet and say, hey, what can I do? And that in turn saves a life, then we've accomplished so much more than we even thought we could. And, you know, everybody's struggling with the economy and everything else that's going on, but it's even higher unemployment, drug use, alcohol, divorces, and everything that veterans are facing, much more so than the general public. And if we ask them to volunteer and go put their life on the line for whatever it is that the country believes in, then I really think we need to support them as they recover. And if this helps them do that, then great. We've accomplished a great thing. We got really lucky. We didn't quite know how we were going to make it. Once we came back from the expedition, we had some limited funds, and we started working with that. And then our director, Michael Brown, had made a connection at a film festival a couple of years ago when he sat on a panel with a gentleman by the name of Don Hahn. And Don is in LA, and Michael went there with a 5-minute trailer on his iPad and met with Don. And Don said, this is exactly what I'm looking for, and jumped on board. And Don has done some small films like Beauty and the Beast and The Lion King and Chimpanzee and all of the Disney nature films, and is actually coming out with a movie this week with Tim Burton called Frankenweenie. So he's huge in the industry. And so he came on as producer, and that really kind of set us rolling. It allowed us to do so much more than we originally thought we were going to be able to do. It brought so many more people, because of their relationship with Don, to the project, that allowed us to have an original score written, that allowed us to do all of our sound design and mixing at Skywalker Ranch. I mean, it was his connections that really let us raise the bar so much higher, and I think enabled us to get what we did get out of this whole project. It was really great, I think, the way we ended up having to do it. We tried to do interviews with them in Nepal on the expedition, and we got some pretty good stuff. But for the most part, we just really met them. And throughout the expedition, we created the relationships that we needed to be able to go deeper when we actually came back. And so when Don came on board and allowed us to get the funding we needed to travel to the veterans' homes and do deeper interviews, because we'd formed those relationships and they had some trust with us. I think we got a lot deeper into what they were dealing with. I don't think we could have asked or even scripted 11 greater characters. I mean, their stories are just phenomenal and overpowering and emotional and deep. And they've been an amazing group to work with. I try to talk with them very, very frequently. They've been to a number of the festivals. We had our big premiere back in the spring. We didn't get all of them there. Some of them just couldn't travel from where they were. I think they all really enjoyed both the experience of the premiere as well as what they saw on film. I think they're happy with the way we told their stories. Never been to Port Townsend, didn't know what to expect, knew it was a relatively small festival, but what's just been amazing and a blast is, first of all, this type of thing, but also you walk down the street and people see your badge and they want to come up and talk to you. You know, they want to sit down and have a conversation. They want to, hey, let's go have a cup of tea. I'm interested in what you're doing. And they're very passionate about film, and that's just phenomenal, because some of these bigger festivals, while they might be more well known, you don't have that closeness, you don't have that warmth, you don't have that welcomeness that you get here in this small town. It's just been fantastic. Jeanette, you do an amazing job. You do an absolutely phenomenal amount of work to get this put together, and I think, I haven't been to previous ones, but this one you hit out of the park. So great job. Thanks for having us here. Thanks for helping us get the word out, and thanks for wanting to be aware and help with veterans and what they're struggling with.